Hello everyone. Welcome to Topic of the Day. This is our Sunday edition where we bring to you the places that have been in news lately. आज का सेशन हम शुरू करेंगे साउथ चाइना सी के साथ. We know that South China Sea वर्ल्ड के सबसे disputed territory में से एक है. China illegally claims sovereignty over 85 to 90% of the South China Sea and the islands in those regions. इनकी theory के according there is a 9-dash line. इस 9-dash line के अंदर the sea and the islands belong to China. In fact, in 2013, China issued a new map in which they marked more than 130 islands claiming them as Chinese. अब South China Sea को Indian Ocean connect करता है with the Strait of Malacca. As we know that Malacca is situated near here, Malaysia and Indonesia. Now in the map you can see these 4 islands, the Paracel Islands, Pratas Islands, Spratly Island, Scarborough Shoal, Maxfield. These 4 islands are claimed by China and known as 4 Sha. 4 Sha इन्होंने अपने नाम दिए हुए हैं. So these 4 Sha in Chinese are known as Dongsha Kwando, Shisha, Zongsha and Nansha. South China Sea is a part of Western Pacific Ocean. और इसको बहुत सारी countries surround करती हैं जैसे कि वियतनाम, सिंगापुर, मलेशिया, ब्रुनेई, Philippines, Taiwan, etc. So these countries have conflict with China over these islands. When we talk about Scarborough Shoal, there is a conflict between Philippines and China over the sovereignty of this island. For Spratly and Parcel Islands, there is a conflict between Vietnam and China. China has actually occupied these islands for more than 45 years now. If we talk about these Paracel Islands, in 1974, Chinese fought a war with the South Vietnamese military and illegally acquired this region as it does in our territory in Arunachal Pradesh and across LAC. And in fact, China is creating artificial islands in this region to increase their territorial waters. So if you consider this to be the baseline of a country, let's consider this to be the baseline of a country. Now baseline is decided on the basis of where the low tide water touches the surface. First 12 nautical miles from the baseline of the country is termed as territorial waters. 1 nautical mile is equals to 1.85 kilometers. First 12 nautical miles is termed as territorial waters. Territorial waters means country has exclusive rights over this water, as in considering it to be their own territory. The next 12 nautical miles is considered to be contagious zone. Now in the contagious zone, only 3 to 4 major laws are applicable that are relating to taxation, pollution, immigration or customs. Now if we consider 200 nautical miles from this region, from the baseline, 200 nautical miles, this region is known as exclusive economic zone of a country. Exclusive economic zone. So in this exclusive economic zone, the country has jurisdiction over the marine resources and certain rights, etc. So after this, there is high sea or international waters. So I leave you with a question related to UNCLOS. Which is the country that has not signed or ratified the UNCLOS yet? You can write your answers in the comment section below. So with this particular strategy, China has been creating artificial islands in this region to increase their territorial waters, and claims in whole of the South China Sea. Moving further, let's talk about some of the major straits in this region. Firstly, there is Taiwan Strait between Taiwan and China. This strait was formerly known as the Formosa Strait. Then we have the Luzon Strait, which is situated over here. Also, there is Gulf of Tonkin. Now, why this region is of strategic importance? Firstly, 1/3 of the trade of the world passes through South China Sea every year. Moreover, 12% of the global fishing catch comes from the South China Sea. In fact, South China Sea has many natural resources like oil, natural gas, fishery products and other minerals as well. So different countries including India tries to contradict the Chinese hegemony in this region. Moving on, now let's talk about Ethiopia. Now Ethiopia has been facing a humanitarian situations. There was a state of emergency in the country which ended recently. Now, there was 6 month state of emergency that was imposed in early November as Tigray forces fighting Ethiopian and allied forces moved closer to the capital. The war started in November 2020 and have caused deaths of thousands of people in the region. If we talk about Ethiopia, it is a part of Horn of Africa. When we talk about Horn of Africa, there are 4 major countries which are part of this: Eritrea, Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Somalia. As you can see in the map, Ethiopia is a landlocked region and it is actually the second largest country in Africa. So I'll leave you with second question of the day, which is the largest country in Africa. So the capital city of Ethiopia is Addis Ababa, and if you see this region, this is known as the Tigray region. It is adjoining Eritrea. Now Tigray region is a part of Ethiopia but is given a larger autonomy. So they have their own forces and the paramilitary forces. In the past, millions of people got displaced and there were many deaths due to the civil war between TPLF, that is Tigray People's Liberation Front, and the Ethiopian government. Moving on, as we have discussed, it has boundaries to Eritrea, Djibouti, Somalia, Kenya, South Sudan, and Sudan. Now, Addis Ababa, the capital city, is also headquarters to the African Union and United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. So as you can see in the map, here we have the Red Sea and here we have the Gulf of Aden. This particular is the Horn of Africa. So the lowest point of Ethiopia is the Danakil Depression. This is important. And there is largest inland lake, Lake Tana, which is actually the main reservoir for Blue Nile River. And the Blue Nile gives around 60% of the water to the major Nile River. Also, Ethiopia is located in the tropical latitudes. So this was all about Ethiopia. Let's move on further. Now let's talk about Nicaragua. Now Nicaragua is a part of a Central American region. It was recently in news as it has sentenced opposition figures, politicians, to prison terms on charges of conspiracy to undermine the national integrity. So it is largest of the Central American republics and its capital is Managua. Now let's see the map of Nicaragua. So as you can see, it is a part of the Isthmus of Central American region. This is the Central American region. It consists of 7 countries, starting from Guatemala in the north to Panama in the south. Nicaragua has a capital, Managua, and it is bordered by Honduras, El Salvador, Costa Rica, the Caribbean Sea, and here you have the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean. Here we have the Gulf of Mexico, and this is Florida. If you see the Caribbean countries, you have Cuba, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and then you have the Lesser Antilles. These countries are also known by the name West Indies, starting from Cuba. Here from Cuba till Puerto Rico, it is known as the Greater Antilles. And starting from Virgin Islands in the north to Trinidad and Tobago in the south, these are known as the Lesser Antilles. The Lesser Antilles, and these are the Greater Antilles. Now these countries combinedly are known as the West Indies, and here you have the Bahamas Islands. Now if we talk about Nicaragua, it is the largest country in the Central American region, and the major language that is spoken is Spanish. Let's see some of the geographical features. Now the climate is tropical in the lowlands and cooler in the highlands. There is a coast which is known by the name Mosquito Coast, which receives the most annual rainfall in the Central American region. In Nicaragua, the lakes are important, Lake Nicaragua and Lake Managua. There are also rivers, the Cocos River, which is the longest river. Now, as you can see here, you have the Isthmus of Panama. Isthmus is nothing but a narrow strip of land that connects 2 larger land masses and also separates 2 bodies of water. Here you have the Caribbean Sea and here you have the Pacific Ocean. Isthmus have been strategic locations for centuries as they are natural sites for ports and canals. So with this, I'll leave you with third question of the day. Which is the largest isthmus in the world? You can find the answer in this particular map only. So this was all for today's edition of Places in News. For regular updates, you can follow us on our social media handles. And for more such videos, Do stay tuned to the next IAS YouTube channel.